Hey guys, it's Avondale and welcome back to the Noxcrew Gameshow recording server. I'm on here again to tell you some more about the redstone and the spawn chunk and the API behind how the game show works. So today we're going to talk about just these two things right here actually. This is the remote winners pad right here, and then over here I have the return to hub mechanic. So let's just dig right into it and start with the remote winners. For the first 5 or 6 games that I did, I was building one of these at every game, and then I realized I was an idiot and I just built one of them, and all I have to do is put a redstone block right there, and it does everything I need it to do when the team wins. So basically, if you've seen that blue team won a game, it means one of two things happened. Either the game triggered game over and used the command block to set it there, or I reached into my book here and pushed blue team 1 and it triggered this. So you saw that happen. You're all really familiar with what happens when game show games end, but you know, here's how it actually worked. This is for NGS Live, that's why it's a shared command block. I won't talk about that really yet, but it does a couple things, right? It's going to play the wind sound to everybody really loudly so you can hear it from everywhere. It's going to have Job tell everybody that the blue team won, and it's also going to give a title to the team that won, but only their perspective, right? So it's players that we're playing. It's gonna say which team won on their title, but it's important that I don't give that to cameras or commentators because we have our own graphics that do that on our recordings when we actually produce them. So there's really no point in doing that. These blocks up here are just the actual set block commands from here, so I can control click them or get into them and copy paste it if I need it. Then it runs through this. The bottom line right here, these three are your fireworks. You know, pretty simple. It's just executing it on the player. So we get through there, and you'll see here at the end, there's a gold block. Now, this gold block will have a block placed on it. I'm trying to figure out how to delicately say this. These command blocks right here trigger what happens if a team has won the entire season of the game show. So for it to trigger a blue team or a yellow team, you know, if they were had 2 wins in the finals, I would come over here and I would put a block here, so that way if the next win they get is their 3rd win, so it would trigger the overall winning animation. But that's weeks away for you guys, I'm sure. This block right here was a brand new addition that I actually just made a couple days ago, and it's one of the cooler things that I did. It actually places this command block here, which sets a block over there. It's going to place it here in this spot, and this gets triggered when we return to the hub, and then this block right here deletes it. Now let's actually fly over here real quick. I don't think I'm going to cut. I'll just show you guys what it does. This is my system for the Decision Dome scoreboard, right? So if I go over there right now, I just teleport myself into the Decision Dome. We'll see that above these teams' names here, these are left over from one of our streams that we had. You'll see there's a score, right? Blue team's at 0, yellow team's at 0. Now, before I added that a couple days ago, if we had actually had, say, blue team won the game like I've just been showing, I had a command that would set a command block right here that would change the scoreboard out here to 1. You can see how I'm blocked off now. And I would have to push that button on that command block manually to get the score to update. I don't know what I was thinking. That's the most archaic way to do things. So that's why I made this system the other day. Basically what happens here is this controls the score in the Decision Dome, and I made it count all the way up to 8 in case we ever want to play Decision Dome out and somebody happens to sweep the Decision Dome. Could you imagine? But it gives me status messages here, but the main thing that it does is it's going to receive that block from the win condition and the return to hub logic only if a team has won. So if I return everybody to the hub and this block isn't here, it's not going to update the score, right? This block here is only here if either the blue team won, so it would put this block there, 13, 21, 36, or this block, 13, 21, 35, right? Now those two different blocks over here, they are the actual blocks that update the scoreboard. So I'll just show you what this does real quick. Let's say yellow were to win a game. It puts a block here. It changes the yellow's score to 1, so you'll see down here in my chat, yellow is now 1, and it told me that. And it also moves this block over, so if I keep putting a block there, you'll see that it's just going to continue counting up all the way up to 8, and then at the end it deletes the block. This right here is actually a reset for it, and this happens when I reset the decision dome, so it actually puts both teams to 0. Now, an important thing to note about this is that Minecraft loads certain chunks at certain times, right? I'm doing this in the spawn chunk because the spawn chunks stay loaded all the time, but that reset that I just did and all of those score changes on yellow would not have happened in the decision dome because it's up there somewhere. It's not even loaded right now. So it's important for me to use it the correct way in the return to hub logic to make sure that it triggers at the right time. And that's what I'm going to show you right now. When I return to hub, a whole bunch of things happen, right? Me clicking this button right here, return all to hub, in my book, puts a redstone block here and does a bunch of things. It does some stuff for Noxcrew Gameshow Live, which we won't talk about yet, but it heals the players, makes sure they're returned to game mode 2, plays another animation for NGSL, removes displays and scoreboards, clears the players' inventories, sets the difficulty to 0, gives you command block feedback because there's one game that turns that off, re-armors both players, or both teams of players rather, resets the scoreboard. You get the idea, right? Sets your spawn point to the dial, keep inventory true. It resets every single Nox mode, com mode, tech mode, in-game rule, difficulty, everything that could possibly be changed by a game gets set back to the way that it's supposed to be when we're in the lobby by this set of command blocks here. Now, these two blocks here will allow me to teleport people where I need to teleport them to, and it does that by just placing a redstone block up here and teleporting the players to their right locations. So if we are returning everybody to the dial where we have the trophy and do the interviews, it teleports each player into their respective pipes, it teleports the cameras to the right positions, and then teleports camera 1 to the interview position so they can just sit there and not move. It brings the helper bots back into their colored O's on the game show sign, does everything, right? And then you'll see here, after a delay, for everybody to get there and the chunks to be loaded, that's when it triggers this block to update the scoreboard in the decision dome. So if I actually go ahead and hit return to hub here, you're gonna see in chat, right when I get teleported, I get all those messages. Those are all the different things that updated, right? So the Nox mode returned itself to 1, tech mode returned itself to 1 to make sure I'm invisible. The new users will be set to game mode 2, the commentators mode is 1, cameras mode is 1, so they're visible, you can see their name tags there in creative mode. Spectators are always in game mode 3, players are always in game mode 2. You'll see the lobby mechs are turned on, and that is these gigantic lag machines over here, so the Tesla coil and then the doors. I am having chunk loading issues. Let's get those to reload. It's fine. You guys get the point. Anyways, the lobby mechs lag everything, so I'll turn them off, and that should help a little bit. I have that in my book as well. But you'll also see in here that I got the Decision Dome scoreboard blue, and it's incremented to 1. So if we go ahead and fly through my little room up here, and we just hop out the other side, you'll see in here that the blue team now has a score of 1. So we did it. Everything is back to the way it should be. Okay, so we just finished talking about the remote winners and the return to hub, two things which are incredibly linked together in the Noxcrew Gameshow API. This was a fun little 4-part series that I just had with you guys. I was able to talk about everything, the master clock, the timer, the scoreboard over there. I was able to tell you about the different ways that I run kits, the individual games, Chicken Bomb, and then how I do a lot of the logic when I teleport people back, as well as say who won the game. There's a lot more stuff that exists as a part of the API, but these are just the major components, right? The big parts that we had to make the game show work. And I wanted you guys to come with me while I explained all these things to you, because it's important to understand that the game show is infinitely expandable, right? If I wanted to make a game in a single player world, I could reference my timer right here by coordinate and then copy that map anywhere onto this world and it would automatically work. And that is the best part about designing an API for the game show, is the compatibility, the expandability. It makes it really easy to spend time creating new things instead of rebuilding the same old tired thing over and over. So I hope you guys enjoyed this series. If you have any questions at all, make sure to leave them down in the comments. I'll be sure to answer them. I know there's a lot of more technical stuff that happened in the series, but I just wanted to give you guys that insight into sort of the more technical side of the things that happen in our spawn chunk. So until next time, I've been Avondale. Thanks for watching.